Well, I'm gonna have to work on this closet. As you can see, this clothes rack pulled away from the ceiling. The bottom is curved, not really supported well. The roof has gotten wet there. Oh, maybe 10 or 12 years ago. So I went on a 28-day trip and had this rack completely full. Of course, the wife clothes were on this end, did pretty good, but I had this packed with some cold weather gear and enough clothes for 28 days. Apparently it did pretty good until we got to some of those off-road areas where it was super potholes on the off-road, and all that weight bouncing back here pulled that rack out and bent it. So I'm going to rebuild this closet, put a new ceiling in, put a new frame on around the outside, and I'm going to do the floor in it too. As you can see, it's pretty warped. It's just a very thin board. We'll see how thick it is when I get it out, but I don't think it's very thick. We'll put probably 1/4-inch plywood, paint it nice white. We'll see what we can come up with. Anyhow, let me take it apart, see what's behind there. All right, as you can see, I got the bottom out of here. There's this frame. Now, this corner of the frame, I think the screw busted off, so I put a new one in there. As you can see, I used a deck screw. That was the only one. That corner, when it sagged down, it caused this whole frame to drop down, which caused the door to drop down, and it wasn't closing right. I'm pretty sure that I probably put way too much stuff in this bottom shelf in here, going down those rough log roads. I'm sure that heavy weight of the stuff pushing on that thin piece of board. I'll show you the board here. This is like a piece of Luan. It's just thin as can be, and really it's like the thinnest veneer, almost like wall paneling. It's not too sturdy. We're gonna take this in the shop. I took the two side panels off. They're using, these are like a raceway. One of them was for this vent pipe, which goes to some tank or something. I'm sure one of the gray water, black water tank vents. And then this one's got another vent in it for another tank. And also has the electrical, which you saw earlier, that I put the switches for the porch lights and the backup light, the backup camera, or under that other raceway. So anyhow, I'm gonna measure this out. Now that I got everything out, I'll put a piece of 1/4-inch plywood, some serious wood in here. I'll do another one just like it for the top. And then the bottom, of course, sit on here. And I'll get some of this trim wood, like about that size. It's probably 1 by 1, 3/4 by 3/4, something like that. And I will make 4 legs going down to the frame, and then they will go all the way to the top. And after I put the top in, we'll put those legs in, and then it'll hold the top up. I'll make a whole frame that goes all the way around the top, so it'll be much more sturdy. I don't know if I can salvage this rack for the top, but we'll take it out, see if I can't straighten it out, and maybe reuse it. If not, just get a steel piece of galvanized pipe maybe and put across there. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like after I try to get that bend out. Anyhow, stay tuned. We'll see if we can't get this. This will be 27 years old in October. This is end of February. So, it's got a lot of miles on it. Something about the campers, you want to keep them going for 2 or 3, 4 decades. You got to do a little work. So, hopefully you're handy. We'll see how it goes. So I got her in the shop. Looks like I'm going to need a piece that's 36 inches long by 25 wide. Hopefully, go out into the shed and see if I can find a piece of wood. Hopefully I don't have to buy a piece of wood. I might have to buy a sheet of plywood or something. I don't got anything in here that size. But I might out in the shed. Take a little walk out there. See if I can find something. Yeah, what do we got in here? Oh, there's some. Oh, that's too thick. It's like a wafer board. Might have something in there. Of course, I got a lot of crap in here, so I might have to dig around, get some, see some boards down in there maybe. All this stuff out. Anyhow, let me set this phone down and see if I might have a piece back there. It might be big enough. We'll see. Well, I found this board. This is actually for the wife's Christmas village, but sometimes you gotta donate, gotta give a little bit. Yeah. Yep. I think I'm gonna cut this up. I'll make her a new one. Christmas is still a long ways off, so she'll never know. I use this piece of wood. Well, she will if she sees the video I make later, but we'll make her a new one. Let me see if I can't get a nice piece of wood. This is pretty, it's like 1/4 inch or so thickness. It's in pretty good shape. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll get a screwdriver and take it apart. So I use some clamps, clamp this down on to the other piece of wood, and then I'll just trace out the outline with the pencil, and then I'll cut it out, and we will have a new closet floor. Well, I found this piece of maple that I had cut off some maple board at some time. It's a great big long piece, and it's solid maple, so it should be pretty strong. And what I think I hammered this out. I used this aluminum block and that brass hammer. Got this thing straight-ish. So I'm going to mount it on this strip, straighten it a little more as I drive the screws in and mount it. Use some small short screws, and then I'll attach this board. It'll be easier to put the rack on the board down in the shop, and then attach the whole board to the ceiling and put a couple of strips on each end to help support the ends, and I think that should work. Anyhow, I'll probably have to, this maple, I'll probably have to pre-drill all those holes, but we'll see. We'll get it all attached on there, and I think that'll suffice for now. So yeah, I still got a little tweak in there, but I will, once I get it attached in a straight line, then I can bend that just a little bit and straighten it out, and I think it'll work okay. Anyhow, we'll see what it looks like when I get done. Well, I got the bottom in. I just used the top, the panel I took out, I used as a template and traced it out. I'm gonna paint it with this Kills Complete paint and primer. It's combined paint and primer, interior, exterior. I'll put 2 or 3 coats on the bottom, nice bright white. So I'll make it a little brighter in here. I got the pole fairly straight. I put that piece of maple I had cut off from some other project, put that as a backer board, and then this end, I put a post on the end just to be extra secure. This is a piece of cedar. I had a cedar board, so I just shaved off 1 inch of it. It just happened to be just the right length, so I put it in there, got it pretty secure, put a couple screws in it, one in the wall, one in the base, and I ran it over the router table and rounded the edge over. I'm not going to paint that because it's cedar. Maybe it'll help keep some of the bugs out. Anyhow, once I paint this whole bottom, get the paint on there, then I'll caulk the edge. I'm not going to use those trim pieces they put on there. I'm just going to paint it white, caulk around all around the edge, and then I'm going to put the corner pieces, the raceways, back in it. Anyway, this looks pretty secure now. It's really not moving. It's much better than it was, probably even than brand new. So anyway, I got that 1/4 inch piece of maple up on the top, and I got the one leg over here. And the bottom's 1/4 inch now instead of that 1/8 inch Luan or whatever that was on the bottom. So I still do have to put the two upright pieces. There's 2 pieces that go, you see the holes there, that the rounded piece attaches to, but I want to paint that bottom corner where the pipe comes through. I want to paint right up there and then put the covers on because I think it'll look better. Anyhow, I'll take another short video when it's all done. Well, I got it done. It's a 1/4-inch plywood bottom. I caulked the edges rather than put those little strips back on. Those strips didn't look that good, and I wanted to seal it up better than the strips covering the gaps. I also end up spray painting the races because plastic had gotten kind of yellow over the years. Plus they had a bunch of scuffs and stuff on them, so I cleaned them up the best I could and then spray painted them white. And this piece of wood I put in the bottom, this 1/4-inch plywood, wasn't really scrap, but it came from the wife's Christmas display. I'll have to get a new one come Christmas, but that's a long ways away. I'll worry about that when it comes. And I had a piece of 1/4-inch maple strip I'd cut off from some board a long time ago. Luckily I saved it. So that's a maple strip that I put in the ceiling, then straightened out the coat rack. Came out pretty straight. And screwed it in with a bunch of screws. And this pole on the end is a piece of cedar. Maybe it'll prevent some moss, I don't know. But it's a board I had lying around, so I cut a strip off of it and used that as a support on the other end. And there's a support underneath this 1/4-inch piece of plywood. So that should give some good support. Anyway, I got both the races back up, got them painted, got the bottom caulked. I think it came out okay. We'll see how it lasts. If I get another 10 or 15 years out of this closet, that'll probably be it for it. But we'll see. It's probably better than when it came from the factory. It's sturdier. So we'll see how it holds up when I load her up again for a month-long trip. Anyhow, thanks for watching and have a great day.